Welcome back to the Truth Factory, where we are uncovering the greatest murder mystery of my generation, the Seth Rich murder. I'm going to talk about KimDotCom again. I think KimDotCom really did know Seth Rich, and I think everyone in DC knows that Kim knows, and they are sweating fucking bullets over this. Debbie's having a fucking meltdown over there.
Under my understanding, the Capitol Police is not able to confiscate members' equipment when the member is not under investigation.
And I think the KimDotCom rule goes a lot further than we know. Do you think that Mega Upload has its bandwidth, infrastructure, storage, and security that it does so we can comfortably watch the new Star Wars movie at home instead of in the theaters? No, his server is on the scale of Twitter. Like Twitter and Facebook sandwiched together, like Twitbook. Can someone please pay me for inventing that? So what does that mean? Well, if Mega Upload wasn't just being used for streaming and uploading services for degenerates like myself, what is all that infrastructure designed for with a firewall so big even Trump can't build it? Well, downloading media was just his storefront. The way that massage parlors are really for prostitutes and pizza restaurants are really for John Podesta. Because here we have a website that happens to be completely capable and compatible of doing top-level shit that would require massive amounts of bandwidth, storage, remote backups, and it happens to all be offshore. Does anybody know a disgruntled government employee who might want to exploit the corruption of the government he's working with to the world, who might be able to use such a service? Snowden, Manning? Well, they probably used it too, along with Seth fucking Rich. I guarantee he did not use his Gmail account to send 44,000 emails with 17,000 attachments. This was not some sort of shitty USB sent off in a manila tag envelope to the Ecuadorian embassy type job. Think of Mega like a safe harbor for that information, huge storage space that is encrypted and secure. It was literally designed to be protected from government spying agencies, for fuck's sakes, like the NSA. Ding, ding, ding. This is why Assange is not denying Kim's involvement. I imagine Mega is actually used a lot as an intermediary point for a lot of him in the WikiLeaks and the WikiLeakers. WikiLeakers? I don't know. Or at the very least as an extra copy if WikiLeaks is ever compromised. So you can say what you want about KimDotCom, but he is a great programmer. He's one of the best in the world, and he has the right resources, who happens to not like Hillary Clinton, so he's a perfect ally. And due to Obama spying on everyone with the NSA, 100% the government knows about the interaction between Seth Rich and KimDotCom, which is actually kind of a good thing, and I'll get to that in a bit. But first you might be asking, how did a member of the DNC get away with this? From my previous videos, I talked about how there were only two people working in data at the DNC at the time Seth Rich worked there. It was Seth and a guy named Andrew, who I covered in my other videos. So really there's only one other person who's going to figure this out, and I think Andrew did, and I think that's when shit got real. But until then, I imagine Seth used something called a rootkit. A rootkit is a type of software designed to hide the fact that an operating system has been compromised. For example, a lot of people use rootkits to allow viruses and malware to hide in plain sight by disguising necessary files that your antivirus software will overlook. So it was kind of like a virus that was hidden, that was extracting all this information for Seth. And if you don't think that Seth Rich could set that up himself, I imagine that KimDotCom could for him. So when KimDotCom put out his statement, it mentioned wanting safe passage into the USA. That's because his company Mega basically destroyed Hollywood through piracy that cost the industry millions if not billions of dollars, so there's that. They have him on copyright infringement issues, but he can safely stay in New Zealand for now. However, they were able to seize a lot of Kim's assets, but he is caught on a technicality of why he can't be extradited to the USA that they may not want to circumvent right now, because to do that would mean that Kim can show his cards that Seth was the leaker of the emails. They know that he knows that he knows that they know that, I don't know how far that goes, but they know that he knows. So to have him arrested would mean that they would have to publicize the charges themselves, as it is a civil case. So instead, they just took his money and all of his cool stuff. He can still be charged with things that expose him to extradition, which is why he's requesting safe passage for his testimony. He will need to testify, otherwise nothing is going to happen. But again, if he plays his cards just right, he might be able to get almost $1 billion worth of assets back, including $10 million in liquid cash, all while blowing the lid off the Seth Rich murder and getting revenge on the people who tried to take him down. So it's a win-win-win for Kim. So this is huge for Kim.com, and it's huge for the Seth Rich case. All Kim has to do is prove that Seth Rich is Panda and that he was a leaker from the DNC. And also Kim.com just tweeted, Congressman Data Rockenbacker, I hope I said that name right, is now also calling for proper investigation of the Seth Rich case. Fantastic. Finally, somebody in government is doing something. I just pray rock doesn't fall on his head or my cat head. All right, back to pretending that I'm a house cat. Meow.